Guys, I'm going to give everybody just a couple of seconds since I decided to do this kind of spur of the moment. So I know we don't normally just pop on and go live, but guys, I'm feeling a little feisty. So we're going to give everybody a couple of seconds. I'm sure I have some cute little video I could play to let everybody know I'm here. But, it is what it is, and I would have to go look and see where we have one of those videos because that is JT's department to tell us all of that fun stuff. But I hope everybody is having a wonderful Thursday. I know I'm having a good Thursday. I am very excited that I am all packed for my trip, which is a big deal because I leave Saturday morning. So that makes me extremely happy. Um, the reason I decided to jump on real quick is every day I try to read the news and I kind of have a process of what I read and so forth. And I don't know how many of you remember it's been labeled the House of Horrors or the Turpin children case. And it has horrified me from the very beginning of hearing, the case. So, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to give a quick little recap and summarize things. Then I'm going to tell you about the latest, okay? Because unfortunately, for six of them, it hasn't gotten any better. I mean, it's slowly getting better, but let's get started. So, the case of the Turpin children, to me, is the absolute most shocking and heartbreaking story of child abuse is in my lifetime, and I think in modern American history. And I am pretty sure that this story went global um, because in January 2018, 17-year-old Jordan Turpin bravely escaped from her family's Paris, California home and called 911 on an old cell phone that didn't have service. Guys, it reminded me because I had forgot that those phones can be used to still call 911. Anyway, she called 911 and told authorities about what was going on. So, guys, this led to authorities discovering the unimaginable conditions that her 12 siblings were living in. Okay. It was insane. When police entered the Turpin home, they were met with the scene straight out of a horror film. Guys, I'm not even sure a horror film could be that bad. The children were ranging in age from 2 to 29 were found shackled to beds, malnourished, and living in beyond squalor or filth. I don't know what you would use to describe it. It was disgusting. And they quickly realized this was not an isolated incident, but a long term pattern of severe abuse and neglect. So, David and Louise Turpin, they were the parents. They created this house of horrors, but they did it by pretending to be homeschooling and religious devotion. They were hiding the fact that they were true horrific people. Okay. The children were deprived of basic necessities, food, hygiene, and medical care. Guys, are you ready for this? It has been said they were allowed to shower once a year. Once a year. Okay. Think about that. You're allowed to take a shower, wash yourself once a year. Okay. And they were severely punished and beaten for the smallest transgression, shutting a door too hard. Okay. And guys, the older siblings appeared much younger than how old they really were due to the years of malnutrition and lack of physical activity. Guys, they were tied or chained to beds. Okay. One of the daughters said that there was a lot of starving going on and that she would eat ketchup, mustard, or ice. Guys, when the family moved out of their home in Rio Vista, Texas, neighbors told reporters that they found feces and beds with ropes tied to them, along with dead cats and piles of garbage. Guys, my first question way back then was, excuse me, why in the hell did those neighbors not pick up the phone and call the police? I mean, worst case, police would have investigated and it would have been a huge misunderstanding. Maybe somebody went and squatted in the house afterwards. Okay. But no, it didn't happen. But guys, just insane. So the catalyst for the unraveling of this situation was the bravery of Jordan Turpin. Okay. Like I said, she called 911, but she had planned the escape for 2 years. She managed to climb out of a window with a deactivated cell phone, okay? And despite being so malnourished that she had difficulty walking and articulating her words, she was able to convey to the 911 operator the horrors that they were enduring. And guys, her courageous act led to the rescue of all of her siblings, okay? David and Louise Turpin were investigated. They were arrested. And during the investigation, the extent of the abuse, which, like I said, included starvation, beatings, and psychological torture, were revealed. Guys, I've read stories where they would buy all of this great food, apple pies, chicken, things that, were very fragrant. They would leave it on the counters and tell the children they couldn't have any. Guys, that just okay. I know that's an old story, but in February 2019, David and Louise Turpin pled guilty to multiple counts of torture, false imprisonment, cruelty. They were sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. Guys, I hope when that time comes, they are denied parole. I'm sorry. I don't think parole should have been an option, just my 2 cents. But guys, that case raised serious questions about how such severe abuse could go unnoticed for so long. Okay. It brought to light the failures of homeschooling and the checks and balances that are not in place to check on these children. Okay. Now, following the rescue, the Turpin children were placed in the care of Riverside County CPS, Child Protection Services. And guys, since they were arrested, they were not arrested, since they were rescued from their parents' home, they've had to start trying to rebuild their lives, right? Now, guys, that's not the end of the story. Tragically, the abuse didn't end with the Turpin parents' arrest. Okay. 6 of the younger Turpin children were placed into a foster home where, guess what? They endured further abuse. Now, the older ones faced a challenge, in adapting how to live in the outside world when they had little to no knowledge of basic life skills or even the concept of freedom. Jordan said she didn't know what a sidewalk was for when she escaped out of the house. Okay, that says a lot. Now, the 6 younger children were placed into foster with Marcelino and Rosa Olgan and their adult daughter, Linus. Guys, they were charged in 2021 with multiple counts of child abuse, including false imprisonment and willful cruelty to a child. The- these people forced the children to relive the same kind of nightmare they had just escaped from. Okay, guys, they were placed with them and they were repeatedly subjected to beatings, verbal abuse, fondling, and sexually touching. Okay. And they were forced to relive the trauma of their past by being forced to watch recordings of interviews detailing their abuse at the hands of their parents. Okay. I try really hard not to go on tangents here, but these kids were rescued, okay, after their life being so horrible. And then the system placed them with a foster family who did a lot of the same things. I want to know how in the hell that can happen. How? Shouldn't we as a society and a system been extra diligent in making sure they were placed in the absolute best home? Shouldn't they have been checked on weekly, daily, something? I do not understand how that could happen. And guys, I don't think that anyone in the system has taken accountability. Yes, the original parents have pled guilty, got a sweet deal, in my opinion. They get the chance at parole in 25 years. They shouldn't get a chance at parole. Then this foster family and their adult daughter abuse these children. I don't understand how this could have happened. Okay. Now, I will say the second betrayal shocked the public. I mean, I'm beyond shocked. I was beyond shocked then because the vetting process for a foster family should be very, very intense. And guys, if you are taking children out of an abusive home situation, it should be on steroids, the process to check out this foster family. They should have a rectal exam, like whatever rectal exam. Lady in Gray just asked which state. It was California. It was California. Um, this family, I think, even to go as far as putting cameras in every room of the house except the bathroom where the children change and go to the restroom. I think their beds, the living room, the kitchen. I think somebody should have been able to log in. Daycares do it. Daycares have it where parents can go and see what their children are doing the day during the day. Sorry guys, I'm so upset. Um the reason I'm so upset, we'll get to that in a second. I mean, I've always been upset, but the fact that it happened the second time, and I think so many people failed. Okay. So many people failed these people. And yes, it exposed flaws in the child welfare system. But guys, Riverside County is also facing intense scrutiny over its handling of the case and how this happened. Also, guys, and I'm not going to get into it because I couldn't find if it's been resolved. The children did file a lawsuit against the county. And guys, I think they should. Some of the children cannot even access the funds that were collected by the public. I read an article where one of the boys tried to get money to buy a bike and it was turned down. This is money that us, the public, donated through multiple outlets for these children, a lot of them are adults now, to better their lives. How is turning down them getting a bike? One of the kids, Jordan, I read an article when she got out, she was just, hey, you're 18, you're on the streets, you're done. What? These kids should have lifelong services and funds. They should get money from the state, the government, whoever, to pay for them to get the best education they can and that they want. And they should get lifelong mental help and medical care at no cost to them because the state in this country failed them. Okay. I mean, I've said before on my midday missing, one of the reasons I'm no longer a CASA advocate after going through the training is my very first case. They wanted to return the child to her biological dad who had went to prison for sexually molesting her because her mother died, and they didn't think her elderly grandmother should have her. And I was like, well, as a CASA advocate, I'm supposed to say what's in the best interest of the child. And as a survivor of sexual abuse, that is not in the best interest of the child to put the child back with the person who sexually abused them. Because I can guarantee you, he did not get cured in prison. Okay. He didn't. So, guys, the reason I got so fired up is because just last week, the foster family, Marcelino, Rosa, and their daughter Lenny's, however you say her name, they made a plea deal with the prosecutors. Okay. So they entered guilty pleas to less sentences. Okay. Now they're not going to be sentenced till next month. And guys, I'm going to just tell you, they better get a hell of a long sentence, all three of them, because you took damaged children and did the same thing and worse to them. You should get double. If their parents are sentenced to life in prison, possibility of parole in 25 years, you should get life in prison too. You knew what they went through. You know, you knew and you did it. So I hope to God that the system changes and somebody needs to do something. Okay, guys. Now, I will say this children's story, the resilience. Can you imagine? I have goosebumps, guys, and I'm trying not to cry. Can you imagine your 17-year-old sister climbs out of a window and helps get you all rescued? Okay. Get medical care. They find a foster home for the 6 youngest children. And these children think, finally, I'm going to be safe. Finally, I have a chance. And then they're abused again. Um, I I can't imagine the trauma and the damage done to them. And the state, they were homeschooled the first time. They lived in Texas and Fort Worth, and I think it was Rio Vista, Texas. Then they moved to California. The reason Jordan decided to get out the window, they were getting ready to move again to Oklahoma. They were jumping states. So I can't totally blame the system for not knowing it was happening. I can blame the whole homeschooling system. You should be checking on these kids. A lot of people homeschool for really good reasons. But guys, a lot of people homeschool for really bad reasons. Okay? And somebody needs to be checking on these kids. And then to rescue these kids and put 6 of them back into another home where it's done to them again, you failed seriously. To me, that is even worse than them being killed because they have to live every day the rest of their lives with being abused by their biological parents, then by the foster parents who they were told were going to protect them. How could these kids not wonder what is wrong with them? I thought that when I was sexually abused, I really wondered what I did to deserve that. I'm an adult now and many, many years of therapy, I've learned to deal with that. How, when it happens a second time, could they not doubt themselves? And I truly believe the government owes them. They should get housing, food stamps, an education, medical. They should get whatever the hell they need. Because let me tell you, I know that there are people out there working the system. Okay. When I had my staffing company and we worked with entry level jobs, a lot of them were on food stamps and they were getting government assistance, but they were going to work and they were trying to make their life better. But there's a lot who just take advantage of the system. Okay. I'm not going to get into that whole system, but I'm going to tell you these children, the Turpin children, all of them deserve to have the rest of their life paid for. Okay. Just going to put it out there. So, but guys, if their story, not just the first story, but the second story of these children doesn't tell our politicians and our legal system that something needs to change, then guys, I honestly don't know what will. Well, maybe if some of the politicians' children have to go live in a home for a year, just a year, and suffer this kind of abuse, maybe then they will get off their ass and do something. Okay. We need stricter laws. We need stricter investigations into these things. We need stricter sentencing. We need to put in place ways to protect children who are homeschooled. There's a lot that's broken. Guys, just because it's broken doesn't mean it can't be fixed. It can be. It's going to take a lot of work and it's going to take a lot of money. But you know what? We don't seem to have a problem, this country throwing money at other countries and other things. Let's help ours, okay? Especially when you screwed up the second time. You screwed up, okay? Guys, I will tell you the story of them. It's a testament of the darker side of human nature, okay? But I also think it's an example of resilience and courage of these children, who, like I said, a lot of them are adults now because they continue to heal and move forward with their lives. Now, Jordan Turpin today is a social media personality and she loves helping others. She even has a website. I think it's called Braveheart, where you can buy things. I follow her on TikTok and on Instagram. She is very inspiring and she talks about what they went through and she shares her story. She's not looking for pity. Okay. She just wants people to understand what happened and that something needs to be changed. And also to share that she's getting through it. Okay. She is slowly healing. So if you don't follow her, I'm going to tell you to go follow her. She inspires me. There are times when I'm having a bad day, I go and search out her content. Sometimes it's just cute little dances and things, just because I stop and think, my life has never been as hard. And she's still positive. I need to get over myself. Now, Jennifer Turpin is currently working as a medical assistant. The rest of the children are doing everything they can to move forward and have a normal life. They do not want to be out in the public, and I can totally appreciate that and understand that they choose to live their life privately because they have a lot to deal with, guys. And the strength and courage it must take every day. God, guys, this goosebumps. The strength and courage it must take every day to get up and deal and face with all of these things is beyond amazing. And I did read an article that the church and they are still all very close. They say that they look out for each other, but they also respect each other's privacy for those that want to, live their life privately. And I hope all of them have the ability to grow into the adults they want to be, and that life gives them everything good because they deserve it. And I want to say, if anybody who watches this runs across them or has a way that they can help support them, I'm asking you to do it. I know I am going to go to Jordan's site today and order some things from her store. I want them to know that there are good people in this world. There's a lot of bad people. Yes, there is. But there's a lot of good people. And I want them to know if they ever see this, if you ever want to take on the government and try to put laws in place to prevent shit like this from happening to other kids, call me. I will be happy to find the time in my crazy schedule to help you. Never done it before, but I am outraged that this happened a second time. And knowing that that family got a plea deal tells me their sentence isn't going to be that bad, not what it should be. And that needs to change. And like I said, I hope they get a long sentence. I hope I'm wrong. And guys, you can hate me for this. I hope they have a very rough time in jail, whatever amount of time they spend in jail. I hope that they learn what it's like to be treated so bad. You know, I don't wish death on anyone. I do believe in the death penalty in certain cases, but I do believe karma is a bitch. Karma can be a good bitch or she can be a bad bitch. Guess what? They deserve bad bitch karma. Okay. And like I said, if any of the Turpin kids want to take on the government and try to change laws, I will help. Oh, Bella just said that family also had 4 other foster children that they abused. Uh, mm, how? Why? How? Why? I think that something needs to be done. We have cameras in our house, not in our bedroom, not in our bathroom. We have them in our main living room, dining room. I can lean back and wave at the camera and it can see me. Um, it's for security and safety reasons. We have a lot of security because of us working on the Chase Lackey case. CPS, foster care, something. You should have to get into their house. You need to see it. I don't know what the rules are, invasion of privacy. It's not invasion of privacy to see what goes on. At least narrow the spaces that they could cause harm. Okay. I don't get dressed in my bedroom. I get dressed in my bathroom. Put the cameras everywhere but the bathroom. Make sure nobody's coming into the bedroom and doing things to them. Make sure they're getting fed at the dining room table. Make sure the house is clean because I can tell you, even CASA advocates, we give notice before we're going to a house. That means they have time to fill the pantries. They had time to do all of that. Put some damn cameras in the house. Especially if you have taken children from a place where they've already been abused, you damn well better have cameras and you damn well better be doing drop-in visits. And I don't mean just during the day. I mean during the night. Nothing wrong with the 2 a.m. visit, especially when you know these children have been abused. So, guys, I'm sorry. I know I'm ranting, but um, when I read the story yesterday, I broke out in tears. And I was telling Double H, I'm like, I I do get very passionate about things that I care about, and I care about children. Children cannot protect themselves. When my youngest son had monkey butt and then Action Jackson, I told him, from here on out, I love you. You are my child, but I am always going to do what's in the best interest of the child who's a child now, and that is my grandkids. If that means I have to go against my son or the kids' mothers in the best interest of the child, I will. Could it possibly make my children hate me? Absolutely. One of the reasons my youngest son and I have not spoken in a year is because I stood up for my grandson and I said, I need to do what's in the best interest of him. My son hasn't spoken to me since. And I'm okay with that. It hurts. I miss him every day. My grandson is fine. It all worked out well. My grandson's in a great position with his mom in California now. But I'm telling you, Everybody needs to do what's in the best interest for the child. I don't care who it hurts. You do what's in the best interest of the child. That is every human's responsibility. And it's our government and state systems' responsibility. So I can't fix that system, but I'm willing to try to go up against the state if I need to get some laws changed. But I hope that this family suffers. They need to go to prison for life, for life. And I will be watching the sentencing. Um, I haven't found the exact date. I saw one of them's like October 15th. Couldn't find the dates on the others, probably because I was too upset. But I will, I'm sure jump on and do another live. And I'm here to tell you, if they just get a couple of years, guys, you are going to see Teri like you've never seen me before, because that will be a problem. And I will be writing legislators, and I will be, there's got to be some federal law that can step in when a state doesn't do what they need to. There's got to be. I don't know what it is. If anybody knows, you can email me at Teri@truecrimeandwinetime.com or Teri@tcwtmedia.com, or you can message me on any of the socials. There's got to be. Lady of Gray, I agree. This re-abuse of the children is terrorism. And that to me should be enough for the federal government to step in. And I think there should be federal laws about abuse. I'm not talking about a parent spanking a child one time. I am talking about true house of horrors. There should be something the federal government can do. So thank you all for jumping on. I know this isn't normally what we do. I reached out. Thank you, mods, for jumping on last minute. I reached out to our producer and said, hey, you okay if I jump on? I got lots of feels and I need to get them out there, and I want to share because I don't think the second abuse case has gotten the media attention it should. It's not been global and national like the first case. And guys, it should be even bigger. It should be even bigger because we knew what they suffered and they got failed. So thank you all so much for joining. Um, I'm sure I will jump on when that comes through because I am not positive that they're going to get the justice that they deserve. I think they made a plea deal way too fast. So I thank you all so much for joining me. Also, since we're here, I will let you know real quick, next Thursday's True Crime and Wine Time, we'll have a special guest for the live stream. Cam will be on with JT because I will be in France. I will be in Nice, France next Thursday when that happens. I am leaving for Finland on Saturday. So I will not be on that, but you will see me when I get back. Midday Missing, I pre recorded them and I gave y'all a little extra good stuff. So to make up for not being live, but I did pre-record. It'll drop live as a premiere, so the chat will be there, all of that. So I did some extra stuff since I pre-recorded. But thank you all again for jumping on. I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. I think Hey Ho is live tomorrow night. So don't forget, I am sad. I've got game night with our group of friends. I got to try not to drink too much because I got an early flight Saturday. But I am sad to miss it because the shenanigans between Llama, JT, and Rude Boy are epic. And I will be watching it on a rewatch if I can get YouTube in Finland. I'm not sure if I can, but I will find out. So everybody, have a great weekend. Be sure to check out the group tomorrow night on the Hey Ho. And I might have to go get a mimosa or something to try to calm my nerves, or maybe I need to go pet Jasper because I'm in an uproar and my heart's beating. So go follow Jordan on TikTok and Instagram. Send her lots of love. And bye, guys. Thank you for your love and for joining. Bye, guys.